Lesson 1.6, Part 3. Before we were dealing with lines that were parallel, which means the slopes were the same, but now we're dealing with lines that are perpendicular, which means our slopes are going to be opposite reciprocals. So this is very important that you make this observation, because it's going to affect what our slope is. So here's the line that our line that we're trying to fill in is perpendicular to. Now if you look at its slope, we cannot use 9/4. If we use 9/4, that would be a line parallel to it. But perpendicular means we have to take it, we have to take the opposite sign, in this case it would be negative, and we have to do the reciprocal. So this is the slope that we'll use. So when we go to our point slope method, we would take y minus a negative 2, because that's the point that our line is given to us. The y value is negative 2. Our slope is negative 4/9, and we would subtract the x value. So we have y plus 2. If we distribute that, we get negative 4/9 x, and this is negative 5/1, so top times top. It's a negative 4/9, so negative 4 times negative 5 is a positive 20. 9 times 1 is 9. So we would finish by subtracting 2 from both sides. And we will get y equals negative 4/9 x. Now to find the y-intercept, I'm going to do a little bit of fractions here. I've been using decimals, but let's try fractions here. 20/9 is the same as, a mixed number is 2 and 2/9. So 9 goes into 22 times, to 18, 2 left over, so 2/9. If I subtract 2 from that, I just get 2/9. So that is our y-intercept. Now you could use decimals if you like, but that's also, I just want to give an example of how to do it with fractions. All right. Next page, we take a look at two examples, same scenario. We have a line that is perpendicular to our line. So again, we're trying to fill in y equals mx plus b. Our slope is the opposite reciprocal of the slope they give us. So we're going to change it to its opposite sign, in this case it's negative, and the reciprocal. So this is our slope. So if we go to our point slope, we will have y minus 1. There's our point. Slope is negative 3. I don't have to write it as a fraction. And x minus a negative 2. So y minus 1 equals negative 3, and then x plus 2, because you're subtracting a negative. So we get y minus 1 equals, and then we distribute the negative 3, and we get negative 3x minus 6. Our last step would be to add 1 to both sides, and our finished equation would be y equals negative 3x minus 5. Now our last example is again unique because we're dealing with y equals 0. If we graph y equals 0, it is the x-axis. A horizontal line at the x-axis. Now the line we're trying to come up with, the line that we're trying to come up with has to go through this point. So where is that point? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So that point our line must go through. Now a couple questions ago we did a line parallel to a horizontal line, but now we need a line perpendicular to it, which means its slope is opposite reciprocal. Well, a horizontal line has a slope that is 0. The reciprocal of 0 is 1/0, and that's undefined. So that means we have a vertical line. our vertical line must go through this point, which means it will look like this. And the question remains is, what does that equation look like? Well, we said that horizontal lines have the form y equals something, vertical lines have the form x equals something. And since it goes through this point, which is 4, -3, the x value must be the same as our equation, 4. If you look at the number line above, it does go through 4 on the x-axis. So this is our equation of a line that is perpendicular to a horizontal line. And this ends lesson 1.6, part 3.